Hey, it's M again. It's M again. Woo, woo. What's happening, good people of planet Earth, wherever you are, no matter where you are on the planet, you are loved, you are appreciated. And thank you for tuning in to another one of my episodes. And I'm calling them episodes because, I tend to have this continuing conversation with you. It's never going to be over. And even when I'm gone, I'm going to still be talking to you. I've always felt like, I've had a calling on my life, as some people say, but all of us do. There's not a single one of us that don't have a calling on our lives. Some of us are more present to it than others. And some of us feel more compelled by our calling than others. But let me tell you something, the compelling thing that you feel it more and more when you get the cobwebs out of your head. When you get the subconscious programming out of your head that told you that you couldn't do it, that you'll never amount to anything, that, look at how you look. Who's gonna like you the way that you look? I grew up with this birthmark under my right eye, right? And it resembles a black eye. So you know what I heard. You know some of the stuff I heard. Black eyed piece, spot, this, that, and the other. I hope you look as worse as the other guy. And I would internalize that as a child, how ugly I was. It was people's perception of me, not my perception of myself necessarily, but before too long, people's perception of me became my perception of me. See, sometimes people see great things in you and sometimes they don't. Now, if you build your perception of yourself on what other people see in you, that's dangerous. You have to see the magic in you. You have to see the clay shaping work of art in yourself, in your body shape, in your facial appearance, and the way you are put together. You got to see the genius in it. Because if you look at yourself from the way other people look at you, that is subject to change based upon where they are. It's subject to change based upon where they are. Some of us are making some serious body alterations based upon the trends that are happening in society. And I've been around long enough to see trends come and to see trends go. And oftentimes what happens when people make alterations to their body, that thing that they have to be with for the rest of their life, there are often a lot of regrets that come about because people follow trends, and trends come and trends go. But your body has to be with you through the duration. How you treat your body, what you do to your body. Your body keeps the score of everything. Every trauma that you've experienced, every time you doubt yourself, every time you think that you're not good enough, your body keeps the score. And one day, it's going to remind you what the score is. Treat your body well. Love your body. Appreciate your body. Care for your body. Treat it like you know it's keeping the score so that you can change the score that's being kept in your body to something that is marvelous, to something that is wonderful and loving and caring, where you embrace yourself and you appreciate the fact that your body has been carrying you all this time. Now, self-love is a whole nother conversation. It's a conversation that a lot of us think that we are up on because we are doing more physically, on the outside, but we are not doing that great of a job internally growing ourselves. A lot of us believe that self-love is all about the look. I know some people who look great, but are toxic inside. And the body keeps the score not outside. The body keeps the score inside. The body is not trying to look good for other people. The body is trying to feel good for you because this is your temple. This is where you live. This is your place of residence. But it's a living place of residence. It's not a disconnected place of residence. So how you feel inside is very important to the relationship you have with your body. Exercise is very important. There's a lot of people now exercising, a lot more people because of the pandemic who started exercising because they had to, because the pandemic had us sitting down, eating more, being stationary, sedentary lifestyle. And it's that, of course, that's not healthy. So a lot of us had to get up and start moving and get our bodies in motion. And you did a good job, and you're doing a good job. Just know that that's one part of it. The other part is, if you are exercising and doing a great job of getting your body in motion and the energy is running in you, now you have to transform the internalized programming that you have in your subconscious mind, that it has a tendency to still be focused on the past, still be focused on your last failure, still be focused on, what you believe people, how you believe people are going to turn you down, what they're not going to see in you. It's still programmed to that. So here's the next level. The next level is you have to reprogram your subconscious mind. Now, there's a lot of people out there teaching on that now, which is so good, because growing up, there was no information about this. If they did, it was kept in a sealed vault someplace. But, when I grew up, in terms of my generation, there were a few people out there, but it wasn't readily made available to the general public. The internet hadn't came out yet, so we didn't have readily access. Now you have access to any information of anything you want to know. You have no excuse for not knowing how to get yourself to work the way you want yourself to work. But to do that, here's the first thing you got to recognize. You are a technology that no one has ever seen before. This is the reason why physicians say they practice medicine. Not that they are experts at medicine, but they practice medicine. And it's very important that you listen to that, because it's not that they're trying to deceive us, but they're telling the truth about what the reality is, because every human being is a unique variation of one energy. Every human being is a unique variation of one energy. That means that there's no real prototype for you. You are a prototype within a prototype. So when a doctor, deals with you, a large part of the success of a doctor working with you has something to do with how well you know you and how well you can guide that physician through a tour of yourself. So we have to know ourselves. It is not by chance that in the temples of Delphi in Greece, or was it Greece? It was one of those Greek places where the temple of Delphi existed, and on the pyramids, on the gravestones of the temple of Delphi and the pyramids in Egypt, there was the sign saying the aphorism or the axiom that says, "Know thyself." Now, it's not by coincidence that they will put that over the tombstones of the pharaohs in the temple of Delphi. It's not by Apollo. There is no temple of Delphi and Apollo. There is no, accident to that, because that was inscripted on purpose to leave a message to the next one's coming, and the next one's coming, and the next one coming, because they knew that, we would look up these things and connect one generation to the other, that this has been being said. Know thyself. I remember I was talking to someone who was very religious, and I used to be very religious. That means, that's code word for very judgmental. Thought I knew everything, was condemning everybody. And I woke up to the reality that I didn't know anything. I knew just as little as the next person, and what my job is to get to know myself. But I was so focused on other people and judging other people, and what I was missing out on is during that time, I wasn't discovering how to use myself. Think about that for a minute. I was not discovering how to use myself. If you don't know how to use yourself, and you're the one person that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with, and you haven't learned how to use yourself, how do you know you haven't learned how to use yourself? You don't know who you are. How can you use yourself if you don't really know who you are? Know thyself.